Jumping into the 2-game slate here to start off the NBA DFS regular season. My name is Eric Polzin. You guys can find me at 9to5 Sports on really any social media platform. This is going to be a fun 2-game slate. You know, it's always fun to have the NBA DFS regular season here, but I will say I am just kind of dipping my toes into the water. I'm not diving headfirst in. Okay, that'll be tomorrow on the 12-game slate. This is one in which obviously we're excited to get NBA DFS back, but it is one in which I just want to, pump the brakes a little bit because, well, the Boston Celtics, I do think they have some question marks team-wise, like who's going to be productive there. The Sixers a little bit as well. I feel like we kind of know who they are, but how much is James Harden and Joel Embiid going to eat into each other this season? And then the Los Angeles Lakers, I feel like they have a lot of question marks as well, especially at the guard position. And then the Golden State Warriors, kind of always just a guessing game as to which player you want to be on the most for them, because Jordan Poole, Curry, Klay Thompson, and Andrew Wiggins, especially with Wiggins and Poole getting paid. So interesting stuff there. And then we also had the center situation for the Golden State Warriors as well, trying to figure that out as well. So we're going to navigate this 2-game slate for you guys, breaking it down game by game. But first, let's just talk about the injury situation on this slate. So here are the players that are out: Dennis Schroeder, Thomas Bryant, Danilo Gallinari, Troy Brown, Robert Williams, and then Andre Iguodala are all currently ruled out. So get the players that are going to be a game time decision. LeBron James, probably going to play. Russell Westbrook, I would say he's truly questionable. And if he does sit, that's going to open up, some strong value on the slate because he does soak up a decent amount of usage. We got him at 27.5%. And then Anthony Davis, he's probably going to play. I don't think we have to worry about that. So that's the biggest question marks on this slate. So let's start off with the Sixers here. I will say Joel Embiid, James Harden, they're going to be fine plays. I do think Joel Embiid's a little bit priced up, honestly, on this slate. Yes, he's priced below 10K, okay? And I do think he has a good chance to get to 50 DK points, and he could be in a profitable lineup for you guys, but I do think he's a little bit priced up just because, I'm comparing him and James Harden, and to me, I'd rather just take the price discount between James Harden and Joel Embiid, $1,000 cheaper. I think they have a strong chance to score the equal amount of points. And the question is, which James Harden are we going to get? Are we going to get playoff James Harden, who really kind of struggled, or regular season James Harden, who we know, regular season James Harden, strong player, okay? And at 8.9, he really doesn't have to do too much, okay? You could easily get to 45 DK points and hit value for you guys. Can he do that? That's really the question that you have to be asking yourself. I'm perfectly fine with Joel Embiid and James Harden. They should be both safe plays. They should be both plays that in which combined are going to get you close to 100 DK points, okay? Maybe 40-60, maybe 50-50, maybe 45-45, 90 DK points. But that's the biggest question is how big of a ceiling do they have, especially in this matchup with the Boston Celtics that are typically a pretty strong defense. And that's my biggest worry with them. Then we have Tobias Harris there, who it does look like he'd be a good value, but he has kind of struggled since James Harden has been there. That's kind of the worry with him. It's how much is he going to go out and produce in this game? Can he get to 40 DK points and at 5.9? Can he do that? Sure, he definitely can. The minutes are going to be there. He's going to get over 30 minutes in this game, and he can produce in those minutes. Okay, I just don't trust it. During the preseason, he was someone that was kind of inconsistent as well. I don't want to draw too much conclusions from the preseason, okay, but that is something that was kind of cautious to me. I did want to be cautious about that. The one player for the Sixers that I like the most is going to be Tyrese Maxey. Okay, he actually is projected to be one of the highest owned players on the slate at third highest owned projected player on the slate, which is pretty crazy there. So Maxey is someone that I do like a lot as a play. Averaged 30 DK points per game last year, and the 4 preseason games that we saw from him, he didn't really get that many minutes, about 20 minutes to 25 minutes per game, but he still averaged 23 minutes, or he still averaged 23 DK points. So on a limited minute share, he was still able to get to the normal DK points per minute that we'd want, and we have him projected to get 32.1 minutes. So for me, that tells me that he should be able to get to 30 DK points, or 30 DK points, getting 30 minutes in this game. So Tyrese Maxey is kind of a staple play. The problem with him as a play is that I think everyone's going to be on him because it's kind of just the obvious discount play in the slate. And so that would be the worry with him. And then from there, I do want to point out Montrezl Harrell. Not really something that I'm saying you want to play on the slate, but I'm just kind of watching to see what he does on this slate, because maybe it won't benefit us on this slate, but maybe the next slate that he's on, he'd be someone that we're going out of our way to play. At 4.6, he is going to be priced up a little bit too much, but I do want to just point out what he did in the preseason. He saw 16, 16, and 12 minutes. Not a lot of minutes, but we know he's always been a DK point per minute player, and he saw 19, 20, and 25 DK points with those minutes. So if he is someone that maybe potentially gets to 20 minutes per game, then we could see him become a value scoring 25 to 30 DK points per game. And I'm just kind of curious as to the rotation with Montrezl Harrell this game. And you know what, personally, that's kind of it for me for the Sixers. I don't want to go crazy with them. Maxey is the player that I want to be on the most, and then probably James Harden, and then Joel Embiid. Now, if we have to go back to them at the end of this video, we can. So for Boston, it is going to be more the same of kind of what I just echoed with the Sixers. I do like the price point of the Boston Celtics a little bit more, though, than I do like James Harden and also Joel Embiid. Like 9K for Jason Tatum does seem nice and safe. Like I think he's going to get to 45 DK points. The minutes are going to be there. If this is a close game, he is someone that I do think will be able to go out and produce. Okay, can he get to 50 DK points as well? He certainly can. And I think this is a situation where it's early season DFS. The prices are low. We should take advantage of that right now and jam in the studs. Jason Tatum does make a lot of sense at 9K. 45 DK points to 50 DK points is currently what I think he'll get. And with that, I do think he's a little bit too cheap. And then same thing with Jaylen Brown. Now, once again, I don't want to draw too many conclusions from the preseason, but in every game in the preseason on limited minutes, he still was averaging over 29.5 DK points per game. And so obviously he needs to get 10 more than that to really hit value for us on the slate. But I do think he's going to be able to go out and do that. Another season to be improved, another season to be more consistent. And at his current price, he's basically priced at his average that you'd want to hit, the value price point that you'd want to hit. So Jaylen Brown at 8K is certainly going to be a play that I like a lot. A play that should be a safe play as well. So I do think a lot of people are going to be on Al Horford, just given the price point of 5K. And I'm not saying that that's like too cheap, but we did see him at the end of the season last year be way priced higher than this. Okay, someone that did average 30 points per game last year. Okay, I do kind of worry about him in this matchup again, though. Like if he's going to be chalk, which it currently looks like he's going to be chalk, I would see this as a guy that you could potentially fade to try to find some value elsewhere. I will say the price point is highly intriguing. Okay, and if he actually does not become chalk, then he would be someone that you can certainly end up on. Can he get to like 25 DK points and hit value for you at this price point? He can. And that's kind of the thing with the Boston Celtics that we're seeing here, is that they're all priced pretty cheap to the point in which you can make a pretty strong build, pretty strong lineup by just playing a lot of the Boston Celtics guys that are priced at kind of their floor. Okay. And if they hit over their value, they're going to have a good game for you. So Al Horford certainly in play. You could easily play him at power forward or center as well, which does make him a little bit more appealing on DraftKings. And I do want to point out another play, Malcolm Brogdon here. So Malcolm Brogdon has always been a really strong player in the NBA. I don't think anyone's questioning that. The problem that Malcolm Brogdon has had the last 2 years has just been staying healthy. That has been his biggest issue. When he's been healthy, he's been a stud, especially for DFS purposes. We saw him last year be priced, almost in the 8K range, and he was priced in the 8K range consistently. Now, obviously, he's coming into a different role here with the Boston Celtics than what he was previously in for the Pacers and even the Milwaukee Bucks. He's expected to be the sixth man, okay? And could he even be the sixth man of the year? Potentially. Okay, Malcolm Brogdon is a good player. And this is kind of my biggest question. It's like, what are the minutes going to be? Okay, that's my biggest question because Malcolm Brogdon, we currently have him projected to get 23.4 minutes, okay? And I would say if he gets those minutes, like only 23 minutes, then he is someone that I have to caution you guys against. I think he's going to get a little bit more minutes than that, maybe 25 to 30 minutes. And if he does get that, then at this price point, he's certainly going to be too cheap, especially if he's going to be commanding that second unit. And to me, that'd be highly appealing. And I want to point this out. This is a DraftKings only play because FanDuel has him priced correctly. Okay, so on FanDuel, stay away from Malcolm Brogdon. On DraftKings, he's a player that I think we can go out of our way to play. It's not a lock and load because we don't know the minutes for sure, but we do know that he's a quality NBA player, and we're getting him at 5K when he should be operating with a lot of the backups. And to me, that's going to be appealing. Plus, we have the multiple position of eligibility on him as well, which to me is going to be appealing as well. And so the biggest issue I have currently is that I'm loading up way too much on the Boston Celtics. That's just because, once again, we are playing a lot of the guys that should have a nice safe floor for you. So the biggest question mark on the slate to me is going to be the Los Angeles Lakers and the guard situation. Is Russell Westbrook going to play? Is he going to start, or is he going to be commanding the second unit? Kind of for the reasons that I just talked about for Malcolm Brogdon, why I like him a lot as a play, is that he's going to be commanding the second unit. If Russell Westbrook comes in and commands the second unit, he's going to be a really strong usage type player that's going to be more elevated than it had been even last year. And so that would be intriguing. But at 7.4, I do think he's going to be priced up a little bit too much. That's going to be a wait and see approach for me. The biggest question is like, which other guard is going to soak up the minutes, or are the minutes going to be split between all of them? Okay, so like Patrick Beverley is there, Kendrick Nunn, Lonnie Walker. Okay, those guys are all players I'd be looking at. And then you even have Austin Reeves, who everyone loves. Okay, he's the new Alex Caruso there. Everyone loves him. Okay, it's a big question mark on the slate. And that's my biggest worry, is that we don't know exactly what to do with the guard situation. The nice thing about it is Dennis Schroeder's out, and that does help out the slate a little bit. Like, let's just say Nunn does get the minutes, does start. Okay, can he come in and play 25 minutes? At this price point, he would certainly be too cheap. Okay, and this is news that we should get before lock. This is news that if you guys are, members, you go to the Discord chat and you're talking about it, just get the confirmation of who's going to be starting. Because if it's going to be him, then he'd certainly be a price per minute play that you can go with. He'd be someone that could easily and should easily get to like 5 or 6x. Okay, he'd be someone that you could look at. Now, personally, I kind of like Lonnie Walker a little bit more. but he is priced up a little bit more, and that's kind of the issue. So he did see 19, 23, and 23 minutes in 3 games in the preseason while scoring 17, 19.5, and 26.5 DK points. That's the biggest issue. It's like, all right, is he going to get to over 20 minutes? And if he does, he should be able to get to 20 DK points. That's the biggest question. What are his minutes going to be? And that's what we've got to figure out. That's why, yes, and the Discord chat, come lineup lock. So LeBron James, he is expected to play, and he is going to be a player that is going to be certainly too cheap, especially if Russell Westbrook is going to be ruled out. Once again, I do expect Russell Westbrook to play. If he does sit, then you just load up on LeBron James, especially at 9.2. He should be a nice, safe, 50 DK point play. You talk about Joel Embiid compared to LeBron James. Price point wise, you're just rolling with LeBron James, even more so than James Harden. It should be a super safe 50 DK point game from him. Heck, the last time we played the Warriors, it was a pretty good game. 77 DK points, just pointing that out. So yeah, LeBron James would just become an easy play at that point. And then from there, even Anthony Davis is going to be pretty cheap. Now, he's a little bit too inconsistent. I would see him more as a GPP only play. At 8.5, though, he's certainly someone that could go for 60 DK points and really just break the slate. Okay, and that's the biggest question. It's like, do you need to play Anthony Davis? You don't. But in GPPs, it does make a lot of sense to chase that. Okay, cash, not playing him, but at 8.5, it doesn't take much for him to hit value. Could he easily get to 40 DK points? He can. Is he going to be getting 30 minutes in this game? I think so. So he could easily get to 50 DK points, and he is someone that, once again, choosing between Joel Embiid, James Harden at the same similar price points, I'd rather go LeBron and Anthony Davis, especially if Russell Westbrook is ruled out. Another player that I could like if you are trying to find value is Damian Jones. Now, we don't know how many minutes he's going to get. We don't know what his role is going to be, but with Thomas Bryant out, I would say that he has a strong chance to get around 15 minutes or so. And if he does get those minutes at 3.5, I would say he's going to be a little bit too cheap. He is a DK point per minute player. Can he get to 20 DK points at 3.5, getting around 15 minutes? He could. And that's only if you are trying to find value. Okay. He'd be someone that I would look at if you're looking at sub 4K. And then get into the Golden State Warriors, guys. I struggle with the Warriors. I just do, okay? And maybe that's just the weakness that I have playing NBA DFS, because I just feel like they're tough to predict. It could be a Steph Curry game, any game, okay? The problem with him is he's kind of priced at what I would say is floors. What he averaged last year? 46 DK points, okay? And at 9.4, can he get to 60 DK points? He can, but at 9.4, that is a price point in which I kind of just want to stay away from. Sure, if you're trying to game stack the game, you can, and that'd be an approach you can go with, but they just played Jordan Poole, okay? And Jordan Poole is someone that also can certainly go off on the slate, okay? I worry about him, though, as well. 6.7 is a lot to pay up for him for a guy that we do not know for sure what we're going to get from him. And then also, you got Andrew Wiggins there, who also just got paid. He was pretty consistent last year as well, okay? He's priced up a little bit too much. I would say, 5x to get 35 DK points. It's a little bit too much for me. That's asking a little bit too much. I think he should be 6K cheaper, especially compared to the other plays on this slate. Same thing with Klay Thompson, just priced up a little bit too much for me on this slate. Okay. Draymond Green, same thing. The only plays that I think I could like on the slate would be James Wiseman, who had a really solid preseason, but he is also priced up a little bit too much for me to feel comfortable with. Okay. And so I'm just kind of staying away from him. Maybe you go Kevon Looney, who priced at 4.5, is also probably priced up a little bit too much. Okay, if he was 4K, I'd be much more inclined to play him, but he is someone that I think will get a decent amount of minutes in this game, trying to match up with Anthony Davis. Okay, trying to shut him down. He'll probably get around 25 minutes. Okay, we have him projected to get 21 minutes. Okay, that's the biggest issue, is that are the minutes going to be there with him? And so for me, a lot of the Golden State Warriors are just kind of plays that I'm not going out of my way to play, especially in a single entry sense. Okay, if you are trying to game stack, it does make a lot of sense to load up on a lot of the Golden State Warriors, because they do draw the easiest matchup, and that's why they're priced up that high, is because of the matchup. But the only way I'm playing those guys is if it's going to be in a game stack, And then another player that I'm not playing on the slate, but I certainly could see myself playing in the future, another player that I kind of just want to monitor what his minutes are going to be, is Dante DiVincenzo, okay? He's a player that really kind of stepped up last year and kind of became a point per minute player, okay? He is someone that if he's going to get 25 minutes, which I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if it does happen in this game, he's someone that I probably would want to look at on the next slate that he's going to be on, because he should still be priced at a cheap price point. And if he does get those minutes, he should be kind of a guy that we can look to 5x or possibly 6x given his price point. Right now, we only have him projected to get 17 minutes, okay? So that's the biggest worry with someone like Dante DiVincenzo, once again, is the minutes, and that's kind of my biggest echo fiasco of the slate is that we just don't know what the minutes are going to be. We don't know what the rotations are going to be just yet. We're making educated guesses, okay? And that's kind of why I'm just dipping my toes into the water on this slate. And so just trying to kind of close out this build to give you guys a first look build. Maybe you do go Damian Jones as a value play there. I don't love it, but let's just do it just for the sake of the video. Probably someone that we're pivoting off of, probably someone that we're not going to play on the slate once we get more news on the slate, okay? But then from there, maybe you go Marcus Smart, okay? And that's kind of the issue there, is that I don't really like the lineup path there just yet. We'd have to kind of finagle it a little bit more. Maybe you put Al Horford in the center spots and then go LeBron James in the forward spot or power forward spot. And then you kind of open up a little bit more lineup path wise as to what you can do. Maybe Lonnie Walker there, and then maybe Kevin Looney, Montrezl Harrell, or Dante DiVincenzo, just to start off, maybe. But that's it, guys. Let's have a good slate, guys. All right. Make sure to get those questions in. If you guys have any questions, you can get them in the comment section. They will be answered hopefully before lineup lock, but also a lot of the time will be committed to the Discord chat pre-lineup lock. So make sure to check that out as well. All right. Thanks for watching and good luck.